because they took a bunch of other fairy tales and put them together and made something new and different. Okay, if you didn't already get this link, grab that link, everybody, and let me explain really quick, and then I'm going to set you loose. We're almost to the end. Show me your screens one more time. 3, 2, and thanks for helping your neighbors. 1. Okay, now, here's the problem. I've been talking for too long, and it's Monday, and you're bored, and I don't blame you at all. It's my fault, not yours. But some kids stop listening, and then they do more work than they have to. So listen carefully. This looks scary. It's not. You do not and should not do this whole slide, okay? You only have to do 4, so it's just easy like this. So let's say I wanted to fracture Harry Potter. So I would be like, okay, setting. Maybe I'm going to change the setting, because in the original, it was England, so I would just put England. But in mine, maybe it's going to happen in Australia. Boom, I just did 1. How many do I have to do? 4. So maybe in the original, their magic was a magic wand, so I would just put magic wand. But in mine, it's going to be like a magic rubber chicken or something, okay? And then I have to do 4. So maybe the point of view in Harry Potter, it's from Harry Potter's. But maybe in mine, it's going to be from the perspective of Dobby. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So you don't need to do complete sentences. And you should not do this whole slide. Just do 4. Okay? And on this one, just tell me when and where. And it doesn't have to be specific. You could say like present day Australia. Or some kids got really specific. Like one kid in 3rd period was like the year 1604 in medieval London. Like whatever you want, time and place. Yeah, this is where you're starting to plan your actual story. Exactly. Okay? On this one, who's your main character? Focus. Who's your main character? And who's their main source of conflict? Who's going to get in their way the most? And then just plan a couple of details about your characters, but you don't need to do complete sentences. Bullet points are fine. On this one, what's the biggest problem? Like maybe in mine, it's that like Harry Potter is trying to steal Voldemort's magic. Like maybe I'm just going to straight up change the problem. And what's the craziest part going to be? Maybe Voldemort ends up killing Harry. And then how is it going to end? You get to decide. Maybe Dobby takes over the world or something. Okay? And we're almost done. So you do need to turn in the brainstorm by the end of the day. Brainstorm is due when?
At the end of the day.
If you finish early, the last thing to do before you have free time is to open up a Google slide, share it with your partner, and just do the title slide. Make your title slide as awesome as you can. Like a picture, title, and your names. And that's it. Those 2 steps are all you need to do today. So yeah, and then I only have 2 more things I have to say, and then I promise I'm going to stop talking. Okay, so we're almost there for Candy. Give me 30 more seconds. Okay, partners. If it goes well, which I think it will, because otherwise I usually don't let this be a partner project. If it goes well, we can work with partners a lot. But things that would prevent this from going well, the biggest one is people aren't actually getting work done. That's the biggest thing, okay? Number 2 is keeping your conversation school appropriate. Sometimes kids work with a partner, so they're talking, which is fine. But if you start talking where you're like bad-mouthing other kids, or you're talking about inappropriate stuff, no more partners, okay? And then, you absolutely can work by yourself. I don't allow more than just one other person, because in my experience, then that means that the 3rd person is just sitting there staring off into space, not doing anything. If you guys aren't doing an equal amount of work, then one person will get all the points, and we won't do any more partners. Yeah, you could just do it on the same one, and then each of you do have to turn it in. And then the very, very last thing, see on the counter over here? In case you're stuck, like I really want you to pick a story that you actually like, and it does not have to be a fairy tale. I had a girl in here who was obsessed with Stranger Things, and she did a fractured fairy tale of Stranger Things. I had a kid a couple years ago who loved Fast and the Furious movies, so he did Fractured Fast and the Furious. So anything goes, but I do have all of these examples. Like how many of you recognize, most kids do, how many of you recognize this one? This is a fractured fairy tale, yeah. This last one is really cool. I grew up with this one. My mom had us, this is like an encyclopedia of fairy tales, and the cool thing about this one, it has a bunch of fairy tales that most people have never seen before. I think the most popular one is, a lot of kids end up doing Three Little Pigs, which is fine. It's just not as creative. The other one that's really popular, a lot of kids will do Cinderella. So if you want to do something out of the ordinary, try and do a different one. But if you don't one you actually have fun with. So if you're stuck, look at some of these examples. And pop quiz, is this due by the end of today? Yes. Can you work on the same document with your partner? And what should you do when you finish your brainstorm? The title. And then can you have free time? Yes. And do you have to stay on task and actually get work done since I'm letting you work with a partner? Okay. So before you move, what questions do we have? Yeah. One. You and one other person, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Like you could fracture Shrek, because Shrek is a fractured fairy tale already. Yeah. Or Tangled is a fractured fairy tale already. And any book, any movie, any TV show, you may physically move around, but the chairs cannot move. So chairs stay where they are, otherwise go sit where you want, okay? Work on your brainstorm. And if you're stuck, come look at some of these examples. And that is a ton. Let me have you stop, and I'm going to have you start another project. What lunch do you have? You had a lunch. Okay, so let's stop that project, and we're going to start a different one, okay? So once you're ready. So just kind of bring everything and just pile it up on my desk. Yes. Oh, yes. One candy each. Yeah, which thank you so much. Super, super appreciate it. Hey, go get working on your brainstorm, okay? Ben, whose aide are you? Nice. Work on your brainstorm, everybody.